Hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. The top story we're tracking at this hour is the big NIA crackdown that came to the fore, an arrest that was made by the Delhi Police's special cell. One accused arrested, a suspected ISIS terrorist. An ISIS module on the back of it is going to be busted. Several other of his aides arrested as well, all behind bars now, and their questioning is going to be very, very crucial to break the back of those trying to foment trouble here in the country. Within the Delhi Police, our sources have told us that their plan really was to target places during the festival season that is upcoming. So right before that, the arrest of Shahnawaz and his associates is a big shot in the arm for the Delhi Police, for the National Investigating Agency, as far as crackdown on the terror module is concerned. What exactly was their plan? What has been exactly thwarted? Listen in to what the Delhi Police Special Cell had to say.
इसी स्ट्रैंड पे, इसी जो हमारी लाइन ऑफ एक्शन पे स्पेशल सेल ने लास्ट मंथ एक एनआईए ने रिवॉर्ड डिक्लेयर किए थे 3 लोगों पे, जिन पे अलग अलग ब्लास्ट केसेस में उनकी इन्वॉल्वमेंट होने का आरोप था, और उनका एक मेन एक्यूज था मोहम्मद शाहनवाज। उसको आज सुबह उसके 2 साथियों के साथ, जिसमें मोहम्मद रिजवान अशरफ है और तीसरा मोहम्मद अरशद वारसी है, इनको अरेस्ट किया। और उसके 2 मेंबर जो थे वो थे, एक मोहम्मद रिजवान था जो कि अभी एब्सकॉन्डिंग है, और तीसरा मोहम्मद शाहनवाज था जिसको आज सुबह जैतपुर से अरेस्ट किया गया।
Now, the arrests have been made of one Mohammed Shahnawaz and 3 other of his associates, and it is a big shot in the arm for the Delhi Police, like they were just pointing out. But who exactly is this person and what exactly was he trying to do? Let's try and decode that and get you more details of who this alleged mastermind or conspirator of this entire module is. The 3 suspects have been arrested by the National Investigating Agency as part of their crackdown on this ISIS module. We're given to understand that after the arrest, when raids were conducted, incriminating evidence from their residences was also found. What we're also learning is that the wanted terrorist Shahnawaz has now been nabbed. He was wanted by the NIA for a very, very long time. The investigation has now reached one step further with his arrest, and it's only going to lead us further to the nexus that we're trying to crack here in this country. Shahnawaz is wanted in an explosive case from Pune. That is where the NIA was investigating him. He's finally been tracked down here in the national capital. ID chemicals were recovered from not just Shahnawaz's home, but also of the other suspects who were arrested with him. The suspects wanted to wage war against India is the belief of the investigating agencies. Anshul and Anvit, my colleagues, now joining us, getting us more details on this. Anshul, let me get started with you. This arrest, of course, coming at a time when we are looking at the festival season just coming up. It is a time when we're going to be seeing several places be extremely crowded. Their plan was to target this time these places. That's what the Delhi Police and that's what the NIA believes.
So yes, that is the belief of the Delhi Police, and that is what has come out in the investigation as well. Because remember, in the entire North India, over the next few weeks, the festive season is going to come up, and hence their entire planning was to make sure that they attack several places out here in North India, so that as you mentioned, that the crowd that gathers during this festive season, that could be attacked. And also, very, very interestingly, the manner in which this entire arrest has happened, this is definitely being seen as a shot in the arm for the Indian security agencies, because over the past many months, the NIA was on the lookout for Mohammed Shahnawaz, and along with him 3 other who have been now against whom rewards have already been announced by the NIA. This is the first arrest that has been made in the entire matter. But with his arrest, there are 2 other people who have now been arrested. They have actually exposed the nexus out here, the ISIS module out here, especially in North India. They were the part of that module out here in North India, whereas another module that was operating out there in Western India and in Southern India as well. Shahnawaz was initially a part of that, and he became the link between both these modules that was operating. Now with his arrest, this new nexus has also been exposed. 2 people have already been taken into custody by the special cell staff, and in fact their custody has been extended for the next 7 days by the special cell court. So yes, this is at this point in time being seen as a big victory, because remember, they were already planning to attack. They were already making bombs, IED bombs, and they were using several sophisticated things to make those bombs. And in fact, several of these tests were also conducted. Initially, the test that was conducted for the improvised explosive device was in Pune, and post that also there were other things that were put in that bomb, and their testing was also done in the same way. So yes, they wanted to attack the country at a point when the entire country will be in festive mode, and hence this bust that has been done by the special cell is being seen as a big shot in the arm for the Indian intelligence agencies.
Absolutely. Do stay on with us. Let's take a look at what the interrogation of these suspects and of Shahnawaz specifically has revealed so far. That is really going to be the basis of where the investigation goes next for the Delhi Police Special Cell and of course the NIA as well. 2 people were arrested by Pune ATS on the 18th of July in 2023, which is this year. This is what we're gathering as far as the ISIS Pune module is concerned, in connection of which these arrests have been made over the weekend, over today. They wanted to carry out a bigger attack than 26/11 is what investigating agencies now believe. That is where the interrogation is going to lead to find out more details of what exactly this conspiracy was that was being planned. They conducted a recce at strategic locations as well, is what the investigating agencies believe. We're also given to understand that they wanted to attack major temples, especially in Mumbai. Like I pointed out, and like Anshul was also talking about, that festival season is coming up. That is when they wanted to strike. That has now been thwarted. They took multiple photographs of the Kulaba area in Mumbai as well. Next, what we learn is that data has been recovered from the laptop by these agencies, all of which is going to be now forensically, digitally analyzed and looked into as to who are the other associates or co-conspirators of those people who have now been arrested, including Mohammed Shahnawaz. This group was working very methodological, is what the agencies believe. There was planning, it wasn't a spur of the moment, but with these arrests, there is going to be a spanner in the works of that particular plan. That is exactly what the investigating agencies were planning to do. There was training that was given, there was material that has also been seized during these raids when that ISIS module was busted in July in Pune. Those accused were believed to have taken training in making IEDs and explosives. Remember, in the arrest of Shahnawaz and the other associates as well, we have recovered, the police has recovered chemicals and IED making explosives from their residences, linking them to such a plot. Anvit, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details of what exactly is this plot, where it's leading up to. Now, this arrest, of course, is going to be extremely crucial into looking at the bigger network, isn't it?
Certainly. See, basically this arrest, police also believe that it will lead them to other people who need to be arrested. Also, this person who has been arrested is said to be one of the key ID makers of the module. There are 2 main modules, Rajasthan module and Pune module, that the police have been tracking for the past, and NIA also has been keeping a tab on. So this person, police says, belongs to the Pune module, and this person also was one of the expertise in ID making. They have also done controlled blasts. Today when Delhi police also held the police press conference, they also said that they had done many controlled blasts, they had recce'd many places. In fact, they had also made base on the Western Ghats and also in many areas like Pune, in many other areas in Maharashtra, in western parts of country, and even in the southern parts of country. So they had made certain bases. They were actually also trying to, they had also identified places to form training bases, and also not just this man Shahnawaz who has been arrested now, but they were planning to train many others who could be part of this module. In fact, the details that have come early today had also said all these persons are actually being identified as sleeper cells for the ISIS, and they all were activated when they came under the radar. The arrests were made. But previously, earlier this month, last month, when the police had, when the NIA had declared rewards on this, it was then when they came on the radar of the agencies, and then these traps were laid and they were arrested. So certainly it's a big bust, but police are hoping that this person and the interrogation, now that this person is in the police custody, when he will be interrogated, more and more links will come out and more arrests are also likely in this case.
More arrests, of course, are expected, Anvit. But as far as Shahnawaz's arrest is concerned, do we have a timeline of when exactly the NIA or the Delhi police was on his trail? Because he's been wanted in other cases as well.
Correct. See, the Kondwa case in which this man was actually wanted, there also many literature had been found. It was radicalized literature related to radicalization and also related to explosive and ID making. Now, police are probing right now that who all are the other persons who were linked with him. Also, the Pune module, when it comes into the radar and comes into the picture again, police are trying to find out that whether this man was the only person who was connected with this entire ring, or there are more people. See, many incriminating material has been recovered from him. There are laptops and there are other gadgets that have been recovered from him. So police are also trying for technical investigation in this, because they need to collect scientific evidence to further make a watertight charge sheet. When this case goes to trial, only the scientific evidence will be the one that they will be able to prove in the court. Other whatever statement is recorded, whatever statement he gives, that won't account for in the court. So police are trying to gather as many as strong scientific evidences that are possible. Also, his trail, money trail, police have said they have established, but they are not disclosing it right now, because many other faces that have not come on board right now, they are also being looked into in this case.
Right, Tanvi, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. It is a shot in the arm for the NIA, for the Delhi Police Special Cell as well. It's not just one arrest or two arrests. It is about breaking the back of an entire network, an entire module that seems to be operating to foment trouble in India. And that's really where the investigation is headed. Anshul also continues to be with us in this broadcast, getting us more details of what he's gathered from his sources within the Delhi Police. We've been talking about how this is leading up to a larger nexus, a larger ISIS module that is under the investigation. The Delhi Police, of course, working with the NIA, but do we have any details, Anshul, of what other states the NIA or what other state agencies the NIA is working with?
So yes, at this point in time, as you rightly mentioned, that this entire case is spread across several states, several districts as well. In fact, the 3 arrests that have been made today itself, these 3 arrests have been made from different parts of northern India. In fact, one arrest has been made from the national capital, whereas 2 other arrests have been made from the state of Uttar Pradesh. So this actually tells that this entire sleeper cell operation of the ISIS is somewhere or the other rampant, or is somewhere or the other visible on the ground, especially in North India and also in southern and western parts of the India as well, is what the investigating agencies are suspecting at this point in time. But
sorry to interrupt you there, Anshul. I'll come back to you for more details. But former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, SP Ved, now joining us here on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We've seen different modules like this, one from Pune, one we've seen in Uttar Pradesh in the past. In different parts of the country, there are these modules that are trying to crop up, these sleeper cells that are trying to crop up and foment trouble. How do we break the back of this nexus once and for all? What do you think is the way forward to ensure that these sort of sleeper cells in different parts of the country do not crop up at all?
See, we will have to have proactive policing, number one, keeping our eyes on the ground, number two, number three, monitoring the social media, who's interacting with whom, and I think that mechanism need to be worked out by every police. Though the central agencies, central intelligence agencies are doing their job, but every state police need to be monitoring what is going on the social media. So all the internet monitoring, all these steps would be required, because we are all aware of Project Karachi, which ISI had conceived a few years back after international pressure on it, that LET was operating openly in Kashmir. So they thought of using the Simi cadres, using all those radicalized Muslim youth, and use the Lashkar module to radicalize these people, have these individual modules in each state, and disturb rest of India, because they are desperate, they are frustrated that after Mr. Modi's government came in 2014, they are not able to have free run in India and have multiple incidents, terrorist incidents in different parts of the country, and they have been restricted to Kashmir. So that is a success of Indian intelligence and Indian security forces and police forces.
Right, Mr. SP Ved, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Greater policing, of course, is the need of the hour to ensure that we break this nexus, we nip it right in the bud. We also need to ensure that there are no more deniers of such a crisis, such a threat that does loom large. Only that can ensure that our response is more alert as far as fighting these ills are concerned. On that note, we are shifting focus now to some breaking news that's coming in, and this is coming in from Karnataka now, where there was massive confusion over a diktat that came to the fore from the Karnataka government. This was over carpooling. Carpooling was banned is what we heard over the weekend. A fine of 10,000 rupees was going to be levied if you were found to be carpooling. Now we're learning that the state government has come out and clarified it's not about banning all methods of carpooling or all means of carpooling. It's only if you're earning money out of this, then you will have to register yourself legally. Unless you do that, you will have to pay a fine. That's the clarification that has come to the fore from the Karnataka government now. But despite that, the political fire only raging. Let's listen in.
They need to apply mind. The government needs to apply mind. Somehow, why don't they apply mind? Government needs to be responsible. They need to understand the challenges what Bengaluru has been facing with regard to the congestion. Even at present, the government keeps making the statement there's a lot of congestion, it's a lot of density of vehicles. Fully knowing all these problems, why they should be against the carpooling? Carpooling is a way forward. This is what is been advocated. This is what is been promoted. This is what needs to be encouraged. As a government, it reflects badly on the government. As the government applied mind, the people in the helm of affairs in the government, what kind of people are governing the state of Karnataka?
Anything. First of all, they have not taken license. When they have not taken license, how can transport department ban? Everybody should follow the rules and regulations. Carpooling, they are running in whiteboard. Have to follow rules and regulations. Everybody, maybe myself or Tejas Surya, anybody. Everybody should follow the rules and regulations regarding transport.
After we saw criticism coming to the fore from netizens, we saw the BJP writing a letter to the Congress government to change their stance as well. We have the Congress now coming out and clarifying about what exactly this order means. The Transport Department has now come out and clarified of the Karnataka government. They're very clearly going on to say that no ban on carpooling has been imposed. What is illegal is that ride-sharing apps using private vehicles, whiteboard cars for carpooling service, that is something that they're cracking down on. It is those people who are trying to run a business but not registering themselves as such. That really is the issue, and that is where the crackdown really lies. Akshara, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details on this. Akshara, the Transport Department of the Karnataka government coming out and clarifying, going on to say that this order is actually on the similar lines as the central government and as the state motor rules as well. So there should be no confusion as to what kind of carpooling is not allowed.
Well, you see, what the Transport Department is now stating is that yellow board vehicles, the commercial vehicles are allowed to use the Uber pool or carpooling, but the rider apps are not authorized in order to ensure they onboard or sign up for any whiteboard vehicles, private vehicles, to ensure that they do a carpooling. So that's what the Transport Department is clarifying. Also, the Transport Department officials are also stating that they have never given permission in order to whiteboard vehicles to use carpooling or allow carpooling. So there is no. So when the permission itself is not being given, there doesn't come any question of banning such vehicles or such services. So that's what the other point the Transport Department is so making. On the other hand, if you allow private vehicles or the whiteboard vehicles for carpooling or commercial purposes, it's a revenue loss for the government itself. The Transport Department will not be able to generate any revenue from the private vehicles doing carpooling. So that's what the Transport Department is also pointing out. So yes, what the Transport Department is clarifying right now is that yellow board vehicles, commercial vehicles which are registered can go for carpooling, but the whiteboard or private vehicles not registered for commercial purposes cannot use carpooling. So that's what the Transport Department is saying right now.
So the clarification is that this is just a streamlining of all those commercial users or commercial aggregators of these apps. Really, that's where the crackdown lies. But do you think what caused the confusion is also the timing, given the kind of massive traffic snarls we had seen just last week?
The outer ring road region, there was a huge traffic problem. There's always been a huge traffic problem in certain parts of Bengaluru, be it the Silk Boat Junction or near the ORR or the Sarjapura for that matter. In certain pockets of Bengaluru, there's a huge traffic where you have massive vehicles, massive pile-up of vehicles. So that's one of the reason. And recently, we also witnessed how in the ORR region, the outer ring road where you have massive pile-up of vehicles, and it was a headache for the traffic police officials in that particular day. So that also came to the forefront. So that was one of the reasons why this issue came to the front,
Yes.
and that was misunderstood.
Yes, Akshara, do stay on with me. As Prakash of the BJP now joining us on the broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us. You're on CNN News 18. The BJP had raised a stink against this diktat that came to the fore. Tejasvi Surya, in fact, wrote a letter as well to reconsider this ban. Now the Transport Department of the state government has come out and clarified that it's not a complete ban on carpooling. It is only on aggregators, on these apps that are trying to illegally make money. Does that clarification suffice for you? Does it satisfy you?
That is another way of harassing the people, and there was no need for all this exercise at all. This decision is not in the right direction. Already Bengaluru is facing severe traffic congestion, and people must be encouraged to take up the carpooling. But the government is discouraging them by this kind of illogical decision. Mr. Ramlinga Reddy clarification is not clear, and he says they have to obtain license. I don't know, when individuals pull up and go for carpooling, why would they take the license?
Sure. Sure. So do you think that this confusion really will just continue?
It will continue, madam. Because government is not honest in clarifying resolving the issue. They have their own vested interest in it. And
Sure.
Just over the complaint of private taxi owners and auto rickshaws, if such decisions are made, it is very unfortunate.
Sure, Mr. Prakash, thank you so much for speaking with us. You're on CNN News 18. The BJP is still not happy with the kind of clarification that has come to the fore. Does this spiral into another big political fight in Karnataka? We'll keep an eye out on that. That and much more coming up on the other side of this very quick break on Nation at 5. Don't go anywhere.
From the time the spark was first lit to that six that stopped a billion hearts, the fire has been burning bright. It's time for a hat trick to raise that cup again at home. Time to show who are the kings of cricket. Join CNN News 18 with the best cricketing minds all throughout the ICC.
Welcome back. You're watching Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Borde. Let's now get you some breaking news that's coming in. And this is a jibe that has been taken at the Congress party, specifically at Rahul Gandhi by Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. A jibe coming to the fore against Rahul Gandhi over his visit to the Golden Temple this morning. Himanta Biswa Sarma slamming Rahul Gandhi with this tweet that he has now put out, going on to take a swipe, taunt the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi with their tagline Mohammed ki dukaan, reminding Rahul Gandhi of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots and now his visit to the Golden Temple this morning. Remember, earlier in the day we did see Rahul Gandhi and several other Congress leaders in Amritsar at the Golden Temple, involving themselves in seva at the Golden Temple. That seems to now have triggered this fight with Himanta Biswa Sarma of the BJP taking a jibe at the Congress party. Pallavi, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. We'll try and get you that line with Pallavi, who's getting us more details of where exactly this political fight is headed, because remember, this was on expected lines. The BJP using this opportunity to slam the Congress party, specifically Rahul Gandhi, going on to show their hypocrisy. That's what the BJP is trying to do here. That's exactly what Himanta Biswa Sarma is trying to do with his tweet here, reminding of what Congress has done, or the role, the alleged role of Congress leaders as far as the 1984 anti-Sikh riots are concerned, and juxtapose that to Rahul Gandhi's visit to the Golden Temple today. Pallavi, my colleague, is with us on the phone line now. Pallavi, this was unexpected lines. Himanta Biswa Sarma, the first leader from the BJP to taunt Rahul Gandhi and the Congress with this.
You know, actually, Poonam, the Golden Temple and the Sikh issue has always been a soft spot for the Congress party because of the Sikh riots. And that's exactly what Himanta Biswa Sarma is picking up on. That on a day like today, when you talk about peace and non-violence, the Congress really needs to step back in history and look inwards. Despite the apology which has come in from Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi over the Sikh riots, and despite the fact that they made a Sikh Prime Minister, it hasn't really cut much ice as far as opponents, which in case, of course, happens to be the BJP. And the point which the BJP repeatedly raises is that look at some of the leaders like Jagdish Titler. They continue to be a part of the entire poll process of the Congress party, not just Jagdish Titler. They often take pot shots at Kamal Nath, despite the fact that Kamal Nath has got a clean chit from the Nanavati Commission report. So Rahul Gandhi's pictures inside the Golden Temple doing card seva has not softened up the BJP's attack on him, and that's exactly what Himanta Biswa Sarma is talking about, that how Indira Gandhi was assassinated by 2 Sikh bodyguards, and Rahul Gandhi is talking about Mohammed ki dukaan, but it hasn't done much as far as reaching out to the Sikhs is concerned.
And that has been the criticism of the BJP, of the Congress party for a very long time, isn't it? That while they talk about minorities, we have several of the Congress leaders who are part of certain managerial positions, of managerial committees, who are accused of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. That's something that the Congress never really has, that's something that the BJP has never really has let go of as far as the attack on the Congress goes.
Poonam, recently the MCD elections took place, as we know, in the national capital. And guess who was the part of the campaign committee? It was Jagdish Titler. And he's also been in charge of those Sikh-dominated areas like Janakpuri and Trilokpuri. And at that point of time, the BJP had also raised the point that what kind of a healing touch is this party going to provide if a man who has been accused and who they are eyewitness accounts about Jagdish Titler goading the mob on to attack the Sikhs during the 1984 riots is actually been made a part of the campaign committee. In fact, in many events of the Congress party, I still remember the last time I saw him when Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge took charge as the Congress president, he was very much inside the AICC headquarters. So, if the Congress says that they've apologized, the Gandhis have apologized, Dr. Manmohan Singh, I remember, did as a prime minister on the floor of the House. As far as the BJP is concerned, it hasn't blunted the criticism that the Congress is unrepentant as far as providing justice to the Sikhs is concerned.
Right, Pallavi, do stay on with me. BJP's Manjinder Singh Sirsa now joining us on the broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We've seen the kind of stance that Himanta Biswa Sarma has taken as far as Rahul Gandhi's Golden Temple visit is concerned. Do you agree with him?
No, definitely I agree with him. See, as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, he was never concerned about 1984 victims. He never went to the widow colonies, maybe in a Telangana or a Punjabi Baga, Pachim Vihar or Trilokpuri. Thousands of Sikhs were killed, and he never regretted for that. In fact, they have already, in altogether his career also, he has promoted all those people who were the main accused of 1994 killing as Sajjan Kumar, Jagdish Titler, Kamal Nath. You see, it was NDA government which came to power. Thereafter, Sajjan Kumar was nailed and he is behind bars since NDA government came. So the Congress was in fact trying to give a maximum kind of a power to the people who were killed, innocent Sikhs in 1984. And there was no healing touch from this party at all. Dr. Manmohan Singh definitely came in the parliament, I apologized to the Sikh, but he was a Sikh. Being a Sikh, he was supposed to do that. But never did a Congress or a Gandhi family who was accused, who was the main accused, who supported the violence. Rajiv Gandhi supported the violence at that point of time, and they have all together, throughout their life, they have been supporting this 1984 accused. So now today going to in Darbar Sahib, in Golden Temple, everybody is welcome. See, that is a God's place. That's a Guru Ghar. So everybody is welcome there. But at the same time, I personally feel that he should have come out and said कि मेरे पिता ने आपके साथ बहुत जाति की, इस जगह पवित्र जगह जहां मैं सेवा करने आया हूं, इसको गिराने का काम किया, काल तख्त साहब को के ऊपर टैंक लेकर आए थे, मैं उसकी माफी मांगता हूं, हमारे परिवार से गलती हुई है, हम उसकी क्षमा याचना करते हैं. एटलीस्ट ही शुड हैव शेयर्ड दिस सिंपल वर्ड्स टू द सिक्स एंड दे मस्ट हैव फेल्ट कि यार चलो अच्छा है, कभी कोई आदमी ने मानना तो सही. अब ये तो हो गया कि आप इतनी सिक्योरिटी में आएंगे, इतने लोगों के साथ आएंगे, आपको कोई सवाल भी नहीं पूछ सकता, वरना दरबार साहब में आप आएंगे, आपको वेलकम है. लेकिन कम से कम जिस दरबार साहब पे आपने गोली चलाई, आपके परिवार ने जिसको गिराने का काम किया काल तख्त को, वहां आने से पहले कभी तो आपको एक बार मन में आना चाहिए था कि हम माफी मांगे इसके लिए, हम कहें कि हमारे परिवार से बहुत बड़ी भूल हुई है. जी जी, सिरसा साहब बने रहिए हमारे साथ. वी ऑल्सो हैव फ्रॉम द असम कांग्रेस भूपेन कुमार जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द ब्रॉडकास्ट. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर स्पीकिंग विद अस हियर ऑन CNN News 18. Himanta Biswa Sarma and the BJP sees this as nothing but hypocrisy of Rahul Gandhi and of the Congress party with his visit to the Golden Temple today. How do you respond?
देखिए, गोल्डन टेम्पल में राहुल जी का जो विजिट है, इसका बारे में तो मैं अभी बोलना नहीं चाहता हूँ, लेकिन आसाम का CM हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा जी ने जो बात किया, जो राहुल जी ने ऐसा किया, गांधी फैमिली ने, इंदिरा जी ने ऐसा किया, इसके बारे में मैं उसका ही एक अपना बात मैं आपको याद दिलाना चाहता हूँ. ये हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा जी जब कांग्रेस में था 2014 लोकसभा चुनाव में, इसने खुद बोला था कि गुजरात में जो पानी का पाइप है, ये पानी का पाइप से मुसलमान का खून बहती है. और ये भी बोला था कि मोदी जी को, ये हम लोग बोलने के लिए भी शर्मिंदा होता हूँ, कि मोदी जी को रिक्शा वाला चप्पल से मारेगा, ये हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा जी ने बोला था. तो आज तक तो हिमंत बिश्व शर्मा जी ने तो गुजरात का जनता से माफी नहीं मांगा, मोदी जी से भी माफी नहीं मांगा. लेकिन हर बात में ये राहुल जी का बात इसलिए लाता है कि वो जब कांग्रेस में था, बीजेपी के बारे में क्या क्या बोला था, इसको भुलाने के लिए कोशिश करता है. बीजेपी का जो आसाम का इंचार्ज था एएसएस आलवालिया जी, वो खुद आके असम में प्रेस मीट किया था। प्रेस मीट में क्या बोला था, ये लुइस बाजार और शारदा स्कैम के बारे में बीजेपी जब सत्ता में आएगा तब ये सीबीआई इंक्वायरी फिर से होगा। तो सीबीआई का डर से जो आदमी बीजेपी में चला गया कांग्रेस छोड़ के, वो आदमी अभी क्या बोल रहे हैं इसमें हम लोग ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं देते हैं।
Sure, Manjinder Singh Sirsa, if you're still on the phone line with us, the BJP going on to point out Rahul Gandhi's hypocrisy, but what about Himanta Biswa Sarma's hypocrisy, says the Congress?
No, agreed. But the question here is not about the Himanta Biswa or anybody. My question is very simple. Is it true that this Golden Temple was attacked? Is it true that it was attacked by the Gandhi family? Is it true that more than 8,000 innocent Sikhs were killed in the national capital and across the nation? Is it true? If it is true, why is Rahul Gandhi hesitating, admitting it कि मेरे परिवार ने ये कतलेआम किया था? Why is Rahul Gandhi on one hand going to Sri Darbar Sahib and on other hand giving shelter to those who people have killed innocent Sikhs?
Sure.
तो मेरा सवाल इन बातों से दूर है। मैं इस बात तू मैं नहीं जाता। मैं तो केवल इतना कहना चाहता हूँ कि उनके परिवार ने कतलेआम किया, उन्होंने तब परिवार में गुरुद्वारे के ऊपर हमला कराया और गुरुद्वारे को गिराने का काम किया, जिसके लिए वो कब माफी मांगना चाहिए। वो सोचते हैं कि ऐसी कारणों से वोटें मिलेंगी। अगर ऐसा करने के लिए आते तो उनकी भावना मर्जी में रोक नहीं सकता, क्योंकि गुरुद्वारा हम नहीं रोकेंगे कभी भी, लेकिन हम उनको याद कराना चाहते हैं कि इस गुरुद्वारे को आपने गिराने का काम किया।
Sure, Bhuven Kumar Bora and Manjinder Singh Sirsa, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We are shifting focus from that news to news coming in now as far as a tragedy that has now been averted. This involves a Vande Bharat train is what we're learning now. This was the Udaipur-Jaipur Vande Bharat, which was to make a stop in Chittorgarh district in Rajasthan. It was due to placing of some rocks and rods on the rail track. It was seen by vigilant locomotive pilots of this Vande Bharat Express, which is why the tragedy has now been averted. This video has now gone viral. It's being widely circulated on social media, is what we're learning, where you see stones and 1-foot rods that have been placed on the joggle plate of the track. This is in the this is en route for the Vande Bharat from Udaipur to Jaipur. This happened in the Chittorgarh district, is what we're learning now. This video that has been accessed by CNN News 18 shows that these rocks were placed on that track, but thankfully for the alertness of the locomotive pilots, they did stop well in time, ensured that the track was completely safe to go over and there was no tragedy that happened. Bhavani, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details of what exactly transpired. Bhavani, और क्या जानकारी दे सकते हैं आप हमें? इन्वेस्टिगेशन इसकी शुरू हुई है, क्या जांच पड़ताल हुई है अभी तक?
देखिए, पहले बात तो ये काफी चिंताजनक है कि ये हादसा किस जगह पर हुआ, क्या टाइमिंग क्या थी, वो अपने आप में मायने रखती है। वो इशारा कर रही है कि कहीं ये बड़ी आतंकी साजिश तो नहीं है, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री की रैली चित्तौड़गढ़ के अंदर 11 बजे पीएम की रैली होनी थी। 9:55 पर गंगरार और भीलवा सोनियाना जगह है जो चित्तौड़गढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में ही आती है। मात्र पीएम की रैली से 30 किलोमीटर दूर ट्रैक पर पत्थर रखे गए, उस 2 लोहे की जो सरिये हैं रोड रखे गए। ऐसा लग रहा है कि वेल प्लान तरीके से हुआ, ये अनजाने में नहीं नजर आ रहा। हालांकि जो लोको पायलट है उसकी सूझबूझ से उसने पहले देख लिया, इसलिए उसने कुछ देर पहले ही ट्रेन को रोका, वंदे भारत ट्रेन, जिसका भी प्रधानमंत्री ने कुछ ही दिन पहले उन्होंने शुरुआत की थी उदयपुर और जयपुर के बीच में। और वही ट्रेन वंदे भारत ट्रेन जैसे ही आ रही थी जयपुर की तरफ उदयपुर से, और उस दौरान ये हादसा सिर्फ लोको पायलट की सूझबूझ की वजह से टला। तो अब ये आशंका बढ़ती जा रही है कि कहीं साजिश तो नहीं। इस बीच में आरपीएफ की टीम पहुंच चुकी है, रेलवे पुलिस फोर्स की, और जो लोकल पुलिस वो है भीलवाड़ा की, वो भी पहुंच गई है। चित्तौड़ और भीलवाड़ा के बीच की लोकेशन है ये। अब इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू हो गई है, और ये सवाल इसलिए भी और बड़ा है कि आप देखिए कि पिछले साल नवंबर में उदयपुर के पास में ही, वहां पर जब प्रधानमंत्री ने एक रेलवे ट्रैक का, उदयपुर अहमदाबाद ब्रॉडगेज रेलवे ट्रैक का लोकार्पण किया था, उसके 13 दिन बाद में रेलवे ट्रैक को डेटोनेटर से उड़ाने की साजिश सामने आई थी। जब उसमें इन्वेस्टिगेशन, उसमें भी अंडर इन्वेस्टिगेशन अभी तक चल रही है। तो पूरा मामला नजर आ रहा है कि आखिर कौन है इसके पीछे, क्या ये सुनियोजित साजिश है। ये तमाम एंगल पे अभी देखना होगा। अभी क्योंकि पुलिस जांच कर रही है, अब ये देखना होगा कि क्या ये एटीएस को जांच हैंडओवर की जाएगी या नहीं की जाएगी। जी
Joining us here on this broadcast to get us more perspective. Payal, the timing of this is really suspect, like Bhavani was also pointing out. It happened in the same district where the Prime Minister was earlier in the day addressing a massive gathering there, launching of developmental works in Rajasthan. Do we know if the Railways has begun its investigation, and if yes, then do we have any leads of where this has led to?
It's too early, right now, Poonam, to say where the arrest lead will, take it forward from here on. But of course, the RPF has registered a case under Railways Act, and it's also handed over the FIR to the SHO of Ganganagar. Ganganagar, in fact, over there as well. But this is serious consequences, like you're mentioning, that this was in the same district that the Prime Minister earlier in the day really was, and we've seen several attempts in the past also of sabotage as far as railways is concerned. So that's something which the authorities will take most seriously. But the fact that it has to be handed over to a senior agency, something with the BJP, the RPF will have to look at in terms of the details, and also a recommendation will also have to be made by the state. Given the fact that this also comes under the state as well, this is a state property. This is in the heart of Rajasthan, is what we've really seen. Poonam.
Right, Payal, do we have any response yet coming in from the Prime Minister's office, the Chief Minister's office in Rajasthan about this entire situation?
Well, so far we haven't heard from them because, like I said, this is a very, very important issue, and the concerned authorities had visited the spot. The railway authorities were there at the spot. The RPF immediately had jumped in as well, so it's happening at that level. We'll have to really see if they'll get into the details or not, but this is of very, very serious consequences given the fact that there is absolute no sort of any explanation that can be given as far as lack of security is concerned when you have a VVIP like the Prime Minister really going. And we saw what happened a couple of years ago when the Prime Minister was in Punjab, and the Prime Minister was so angry when he reached the airport, and he told the authorities over there that CM se bol dena ki main zinda wapas ja raha hu. So that's the kind of a consequence that you've really seen. And this again, interestingly, is happening in an opposition ruled state. It will be important to see what the response of the state government is. But yeah, of course, the due procedure as far as registering of the case, etc., is concerned has happened.
Right, like you were pointing out, yes, a major tragedy has been averted, but this could have some political ramifications as well, especially given that it is election season in Rajasthan, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. This is going to be what the BJP will now, from now onwards, point out and clearly say that this is the state of the law and order in the state. There is no control as Ashok Gehlot really has, whether it is on crime, criminals, or even people who are executing all kind of malpractices, all kind of fishy jobs that are happening around. That's something which is not being able to control, is what the BJP will really take the state government on. But not just the Prime Minister, this actually is a railways line, and railways is the lifeline of the country. Thousands and thousands of people, use the railway as a mode of transport as well. This could have had dire circumstances or consequences even for the common man if something unforeseen was to happen.
Right, Payal, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Do keep a track if there is a response coming in from the Prime Minister's office. We leave it at that. It is time for a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5. Back with more news and updates on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Every good argument is based on hard facts. Facts that are indivisible and uncompromised. Watch me, Rahul Shivshankar, bring you a clear point of view based on indisputable facts.
The Hard Facts, tonight at 6:57 only on CNN News 18. Co-powered by
Welcome back. Caste politics is back ahead of state elections and 2024 general elections. We have the caste survey that was outed by the Bihar government, and that has triggered political fireworks with Prime Minister Modi too now wading in. He was on campaign trail in Madhya Pradesh when he spoke about caste politics and how it's back on the agenda. Listen in.
विकास विरोधी लोगों को देश ने 6 दशक दिए थे। 60 साल कोई कम समय नहीं होता है। अगर 9 साल में इतना काम हो सकता है तो 60 साल में कितना हो सकता था। उनके पास भी मौका था, वो नहीं कर पाए। ये उनकी नाकामी है। वो तब भी गरीबों की भावनाओं से खेलते थे, आज भी वही खेल खेल रहे हैं। वो तब भी जात पात के नाम पर समाज को बांटते थे, आज भी वही पाप कर रहे हैं।
The BJP and the Prime Minister lashing out, but that's not stopping the Bihar government. Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister, has now come out to defend this decision, going on to say that this is only going to benefit the people of Bihar and they must not fall for the misinformation that the BJP is spreading. Listen.
हम तो आपको कह रहे हैं कि जो हम लोग बिहार में कर रहे हैं, कोई आज तक किया है बिहार में जितना बढ़िया होगा, और इसके बारे में हम लोग जो उसके हित में कोई भी काम सभी जातियों का, ये नहीं कह रहे, एक ही बात हम कह रहे हैं, सबके हित में जो काम आगे बढ़ेगा तो वो हम लोग करेंगे। अब बाकी उन लोगों को अभी तक नहीं किया, बोलिए ना भाई 10 में तो मान लीजिए कि जाति आधारित नहीं था, हम लोग का बात नहीं करता, जनगणना तो होना चाहिए था ना, तो नहीं ना हुआ। वो लोग क्या करते हैं, कोई मतलब किसी चीज को कर रहे हैं, आप बोल रहे हैं तो में क्या कुछ हो रहा है, मुस्लिम हो कि हिंदू हो, किसी के लिए कोई काम हो रहा है, मुस्लिम के खिलाफ तो ही है, लेकिन हिंदू में कोई काम हो रहा है। आप जरा बताइए तो क्या काम किए शेड्यूल कास्ट, क्या काम किए शेड्यूल ट्राइब का, अति पिछड़ा को अभी भी मान्यता दिए हैं पूरे देश में। बोलिए पिछड़ा ही न है, अति पिछड़ा तो बिहार में है, तो इसीलिए ये सब उनको क्या आइडिया है, कोई आइडिया है?
Shifting focus now to Punjab, where an exclusive conversation with my colleague Aman Sharma, the leader of opposition in Punjab, has now come out and said that alliance between the Congress party and the Aam Aadmi party is going to be like a death warrant for the grand old party in the state. Listen in to what he had to say.
Bajwa Sahab, an alliance with the AAP in Punjab is like signing a death warrant for the Congress, you are saying?
100%. 100%. On record, I'm willing to say it. We would be writing the death warrants of the Congress. And as the senior-most person who is in the Congress since 1978, I have been the Youth Congress President also of the state. I have been the Senior Congress President out of the state. I have served with 4 Chief Ministers. I have been Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha member. Now I am CLP. Do you think at the fag end of my career, I am going to do an act where people would also accuse me that this person's come instead of looking after the interest of my party? I am the last person who will do this.
Bajwa Sahab, another thing that your statement which came few days back where you said that close to 32 MLAs of the AAP are in touch with you. AAP party now says that this is also Mr. Bajwa is trying to ensure that the alliance does not happen with such statements.
See, I have to look after the interest of Punjab, number one. Number two, the interest of the Congress. If Aam Aadmi Party's leadership is not able to keep their own MLAs in check, do you think I am not running a social organization here? It's a political organization. Obviously, they are in touch. And whenever we get a chance, definitely we'll topple them over.
So
We'll topple them as they are trying to topple us.
So Mr. Bajwa is saying that
chance, definitely. Why we... Once after the parliament, if we are able to get around 10 to 11 seats, and most of the MLAs want to come this side, why would we not welcome them? It's a political organization that I'm heading. I'm not heading a social organization here.
So, Mr. Bajwa, you're saying if you win big in the Lok Sabha elections, contesting alone in Punjab, there's a possibility that you may topple the government of Bhagwant Mann in Punjab.
If people don't want to stay with them, what should I do? Should I tie a kind of a thing around my eyes and say, neither can I see, nor can I hear? If somebody doesn't want, if somebody's wife doesn't want to stay with the husband, what can you do?
Good evening and a warm welcome. I'm Rihatul Siddiqui and you're watching Plain Speak. From the boldly informed enunciation of the difference between Hinduism and Hindutva before a massive gathering at Jaipur in the December of 2021, to now writing an op-ed on Hinduism, Rahul Gandhi has many a time since 2014 tried to burnish his Hindu credentials. Now, will these interventions in the countless temple visits to claim of studying the Upanishads and also the Gita during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, will all of this help Rahul? Because he has decided to try to tackle the BJP's messaging on political Hindutva with all of these enunciations. Now, back then, in Rajasthan, in 2021, he had drawn a distinction between Hinduism as a benign and inclusive